my little butterflies, welcome back to my channel Butterfly MUA. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mercedes, I'm the face behind Butterfly MUA, and if you are new, please consider hitting that subscribe button because I'm nearly at 30 and I really want to hit 100 this year, so please subscribe if you want to. And if you're not new, hi, welcome back. Please double check that you are subscribed and let's dive straight in, shall we? So I'm going to be doing a 1 week, 1 palette review on the Angel Energy palette from Makeup Obsession. So I recently did a first impressions of the gift set from Makeup Obsession. I will link that video down below so you can see it. And I do have to say, my kids are playing downstairs, and I do have to say I did like this and I did like the collection, but I have played with it a bit more over the week to see exactly how I feel about it. I'm not wearing it on my eyes today, although there is a shade in here that looks fairly similar. I will put in a minute a video of me using this, which I have nicked from my first impressions video. I've just sped it up so you can see me actually applying and using this eyeshadow palette. I've done like a TikTok video, I've done a few photos with different looks, so you can see what you can kind of do with this palette. Now, I do like it. It is a nice palette. Some of the formulas in here are really nice. A couple I don't get on with. So first of all, what I'm going to say is, if you took the bottom row away, then I would love this palette so much more. I find that the bottom row doesn't work as well and it's fairly useless. So yeah, if I did that, I would definitely find this more of an angelic style palette, and I actually really loved the shades and playing around with all of these other than this purple shade. This purple shade for me is a dud. I tried using it, it didn't work very well for me. It just didn't, like I put it on the eye, it didn't really show up and then it vanished, so I ended up putting glitter on top. I find if you mix it with like the pink shade, you can make like a nice shade, but then you're going to want the purple. The other shades on that side I found absolutely stunning. The mattes wore really well, they were stunning, they were buildable, blendable. This like mint green, I have to say that is the best shade in this palette. It is so pigmented and it is stunning. Like, I know I'm not wearing it today, but I could create a similar eye look with that shade and maybe like the silver. Like the one I've got on my eye today is the e.l.f. Mint Melt Mint to Be palette, which is actually really stunning, and I've just done a 1 week 1 palette review on that. So you could create a similar sort of look using that one and that one. But yeah, I like the rest of the ones that I like that look angelic. This one row really disappointed me and really threw me. I found them quite jarring colours. This shade I paired with this shade because I thought, well, I don't really know what else to pair it with. There's nothing, like, there's no yellow in it, there's no pale yellow. So I did it with the brown. It didn't want to go on with just my finger, I had to dampen it down with a brush, which is not bad. I do that with quite a few metallic shades from other palettes, but I just found then I put it on and it was too vibrant and it was really jarring, and it just, I don't think it goes with the rest of the aesthetic of this palette. The blue shade was actually okay. Again, I found using my finger to put it on, it put on like certain places of my lid, but then it wouldn't go on all of them. Like if I wanted it all over like the lid area, it wouldn't go, it would go more at the bottom, which was fine because the eye look I created, it kind of just looked like that's where I wanted it, but it wasn't. But I didn't want it to be too vibrant and in your face and dampen it down, so I used I think like the mint and the blue and created like a bluey sea kind of look, which it was pretty, but I still find it too dark a shade for the rest of the palette. Like if there was maybe another blue which was sort of in between those two, maybe I could create a nice look with that, but because this is a shimmer and this is a shimmer, I feel you really needed like a matte blue that was in between. Yes, you've got this, but this is a greeny shade. It was just really jarring, and this brown shade, no. Number one, it was quite a dark brown shade. Again, I feel for the rest of the palette is quite pastel, quite not dark. I put this on and it disappeared, like on the outer corner of my eye. I applied it, then I put like the metallic shade on. I did my mascara and I looked and I was like, it looks like that bit has disappeared from the outer corner of my eye, and I was just really disappointed with it. This one was okay. I think I used it for inner corner highlight when I used these two colours. It was nice, and actually it could kind of go with the rest of the palette, but then you have this shade which is slightly lighter than this one, so I kind of feel you don't need the two, in my personal opinion. So I do like this palette. It is a nice palette, but I feel the colour story works well if you take them away, but keeping them ones in, it doesn't work great. So I'm going to quickly show you me using this palette. It's going to be like a minute or so long. It's a sped up version of the video of me first using this. Then I'm also going to add in some of the pictures, and I think I did one TikTok using this, so you know, you can see what looks I came up with. So as you can see, I did have a good play around with this. I created a pink look, a blue look, a brown look, a mixture of pastels. You know, there's a handful of looks I did try to create with this. I do have to say this shade here is actually really pretty. It's pink, but it kind of reflects rose gold. Really, really pretty. I do like that. I have to say, for the most part, I do like this palette. I know I've been quite negative about it, but you know, like I said, if it was just that, then I'd get it. It would definitely be an angel palette. It's definitely more angelic looking, stunning, gorgeous, a colour story I don't really have in my collection, but when you add in that darker line, no, you don't need that line. I find them shades were just, they're not great. They didn't work for me. I mean, you might have this palette and they work completely fine for you. It's just my personal preference. Please take what I say with a pinch of salt. I'm not dictating, I'm not saying, oh, this is a god-awful palette because I don't like those colours. You know, for everyone, it's going to be different. You might pick up this palette and think, actually, I don't like that row. That row is useless to me, but I like this row. It's just personal opinion. But after playing with it for a week, yes, I like most of the formulas in here. There is that purple dud. I don't like this row, but that is just me. That's my personal opinion. But it is a nice palette, and I probably will reach for it again in the future. I do have another one from Makeup Obsession. I have the Mood palette that I want to test out. Maybe I'll compare the two and see how the formulas work. I mean, normally I actually really enjoy Makeup Obsession and their formulas. I have the Tiffany MUA palette, which I really enjoy, and I find the formula to be stunning and beautiful. So, you know, I'm not saying that Makeup Obsession are bad. They're not. I love Makeup Obsession. I have the Belle Jordan palette. I really, really enjoyed that. But, you know, for me, for the most part, I like this palette. It's just that one row and that purple shade that for me do not work how I want them to, and did not give me the wow factor I was looking for. So yeah, do I think you need this palette in your life? If you want that part of the palette that I love, then yes, get it, because you don't have to use the shades that I find don't work. You can just use that section and ignore that section. If you already have colours like this in your collection, then I don't think you really need it, but that is like any palette. If you have like an extensive like collection of makeup and eyeshadows, then you possibly don't need this. But if you don't have like a huge collection and you don't have different eyeshadow palettes you can dip into, then yeah, I think this isn't a good palette. Like if you want the e.l.f. Mint Melt palette but you've ordered this one, technically you don't really need the other one because you've got the green and you've got this, so you could create like an eye look like this or similar to this. But you know, it's personal opinion. I am happy it's in my collection. I will dip into it and use it. I do like this shade, this shade, this shade, this shade. There are shades in here that I do really like, so don't get me wrong, but I don't like that line or that purple. So yeah, you can see which ones I'm going to dig into more, and actually you can see which ones have been my favourite. I've dug into this one quite a bit, and this one, this one, this one, this one. Those are the ones that I have dug into and used the most, so you can see what I have loved and what I haven't loved. So yeah, I guess this is my 1 week 1 palette review on the Makeup Obsession Angel Energy palette. Not a bad palette. Not my favourite in my collection, but it is an okay palette. Duds, you have a few, but you know, you're gonna get that in a palette. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know down below, have you got this palette? Do you feel the same way? Do you find that if they had taken that bottom row out, this would be a perfect angel themed palette? Let me know down below. And I will see you all in my next video. Take care. Bye.